Blaze on a white light, call me Wesley. That was goodness.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to your We Vibing podcast, man. What we always do it family first, family oriented, man. Love, man. Hey, man. Speaking of some truth, dog, man, we had a whole lot of shit go on, man, since we the last drop, man. But it's all good. We're gonna catch y'all up to everything that's been going on. Shannon Sharpe, Shannon Sharpe, Shannon Sharpe. Man, I'm gonna start off with this Shannon Sharpe, man. So allegedly. And this is allegedly. I'm gonna say allegedly because I don't know what there. I ain't friends with neither party involved. But allegedly, Shannon Sharpe been good with a little white girl, 20-year-old white girl, man. And this is crazy and crazy and crazy, dog. So first off, my personal opinion on this, man, and everybody be talking about, did he do it or did he not do it? Because Tony Busby is involved. And I get Tony Busby is involved and shit like that. He didn't. For y'all that don't know Tony Busby, he's been kind of like the that's been orchestrating the downfall of a lot of, we'll say, prominent black men in the industry across a wide variety of industries. So he was responsible for doing this with Jay-Z. They got Jay-Z in trouble, as well as Puff Daddy, and he was, one that orchestrated this. I ain't gonna say orchestrated, uh, allegedly orchestrated, and he also was the one that was the attorney for Deshaun Watson in the Deshaun Watson case with all the 33 plus women that filed on Deshaun Watson, man, and his career. But yeah, Tony Busby, man. So is at it again, and this time it's aiming at Shannon Sharpe. So allegedly, Shannon Sharpe has this relationship with this 20-year-old white chick that he met, and they have plenty of different names for it. I'm not gonna mention her name because I'm not gonna get into all this, the small details about names. Shannon will take care of that for y'all, man. But allegedly, Shannon had been molesting or sexually assaulting this young girl numerous times over. Shannon says that it was kind of like a dumb, submissive role where they was kind of like role playing and she was getting, compensated, and she was also in agreement with the relationship. And on her side, she says it's just pretty much he was raping her. My opinion is Shannon, dude, you too old anyway. So you have yourself in a predicament where you were a 20-year-old white girl who probably haven't even experienced a full-on man, let alone a full-on athlete man, let alone full-on athlete man who's successful and has accomplished as much as you have accomplished, Shannon Sharpe. That's the part that kind of bewilders me, but I believe it's more so into truthful about what they're saying about Shannon Sharpe as opposed to the allegations about Jay-Z and Diddy and Deshaun Watson. But if you think about it, man, he probably possibly killed Deshaun's whole career over some. What you think, bro?
Yeah, this Shannon Sharpe news is definitely crazy from my perspective. I think Shannon was wilding out dealing with this young girl. He should have found somebody his age. Because had he not embarked on this situation, he wouldn't have much ammo in his fire that he got going on. Tony Busby, on the other half, he's pretty known for, how do I say it? His timing is really interesting. So if you go back and you remember when Deshaun wanted out of Houston, all of a sudden, what happened? The allegations came.
Right.
Shannon Sharpe was working on that $100 million podcast deal. All of a sudden, we get this. So it seems like once a prominent black men or in a good position or potentially getting a good position, then that's when you see him pop up out the woodworks. So I just find the timing of it really strange, what I'm trying to say. But Shannon, come on, bro. Like, you 56, man. Like, I mean, what you going to do? You're going to go get them a Happy Meal or go to the Mac? I'm sorry. The toy
No,
section.
for real.
I'm sorry. So that's just how I feel about this whole thing. But I just find it cray, bro. It's really cray out here.
Man, but you know what the funny thing is to me though, dog? Why? And this is why I keep questioning Tony Busby's credibility, man, and his character is because right now Jay Z is entrenched with in a legal lawsuit with the man. So after all the accusations and shit fell through, Tony Busby tried to reach out to Alex Shapiro, which is Dave, not Dave Chappelle. I'm thinking about my boy, man, because I'm lighting up a cigarette on the air inside like Dave Chappelle, so I'm thinking about my dog. But La Resistance, but he's Jay Z's attorney, and Jay Z's attorney said that Tony Busby reached out to him and pretty much tried to make a deal because they would know they was going for Jay Z's attorney Shapiro was going for a defamation of character lawsuit against him, and he wasn't going to drop it. He was taking fully out, and Alex said he responded to him and was like, "Well, you know, I'm not about to do that, you know, because that's not serving Mr. You know Jay Z's interest, Mr. Sean Carter's interest, fully to respect, because you tried to defame his character. So guess what? We're moving forward with a defamation of character lawsuit to go ahead and exonerate him fully." So, which made Tony Busby come out and leak something that said, pretty much that Alex Shapiro and me having agreed to not move forward with the countersuit action, in which Alex Shapiro a few days had to come back and say, "Man, no, that's some bro. You ain't finna try to get me in trouble with Jigga, bro." Because Jigga Man say he wants your ass. Jigga Man got enough money to beat that ass down to a bloody pulp, dog.
Nah, for sure though. And I remember watching Jay Z's response. Jay Z's, well, I should say his lawyer's response was kind of like really brutal, and rightfully so, because you know Jay Z a businessman, so you try to drag his name through the mud with this, so that can definitely do some potential liability to his brand. So, hey, I wouldn't blame him at all for going against any kind of slander or any kind of lawsuit like that, because that can definitely screw up your bag.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I mean, this is just a bag, the career, man. Just to think about Deshaun Watson going through right now. So even if, let's just say, even if half of that wasn't true, right? We would never know and see how it would have developed further for Deshaun Watson in Houston now, because all this that this guy allegedly orchestrated pretty much cost him his career. So now, should Deshaun Watson go back, or has he signed some documentation legally where he's liable now, based all off of his word, man? But I think they should do it like how they do when they investigate dirty cops, man. Because you're a member of the bar at the end of the day, bro. You should be held to a higher standard, dude. You just can't chase these car wreck accidents like you Jim Allen, allowing people names and then just be able to get away scot-free with this shit, bro. I don't think that's cool at all, man.
I definitely agree, especially you doing some kind of hateful, slanderous shit like that, and then tarnishing a man's name, and then so I don't know how this man keeps finding himself in these situations. So maybe, I don't know what state he practices in. They need to look into doing something about that.
I know I ain't keep getting himself in these situations because these women call his ass after one of these stupid ass stars. Shannon Sharpe, you was doing good, bro. You was like over at ESPN, like you should have been just like staying over there with First Take, being a good guy, being a good dude, being a model citizen, instead of trying to put your in these little young white chicks. And if you is, go ahead and pay for it. Go ahead and get an NDA or signed or something like that. And so she can't say nothing. So guess what? If she do come out with something that happens, then you can sue the shit out of her, man. But again, you're this famous person. You don't think that far ahead for your career to save you. You used to get some big ass money, I heard too, man.
Yeah, totally screwed up the bag. And I don't know if you saw this, but Stephen A did a little segment on his podcast, and he was basically, I don't know, he's saying that it's over, like as far as him and Shannon with First Take, but he kind of left the door wide open to say, well, if this is the last time, I'm always be by your side. I wish you the best. But he also left the door open. But Stephen A is kind of normally, he says, "Oh, so and so's my brother. I love the brother. This and that." He didn't kind of do all that my brother stuff this time. So I guess he's just gonna let the cards or the dice roll where they may.
Well, see, the tape once Okay, so Shannon first, he offered a 10 million to try to silence it. That number one make you seem guilty, dude. I don't care if you did this shit or not. You ain't supposed to do that, bro. Like that's the number one thing. And the number two thing on top of that, bro, after you offer that and you didn't give her the money she wanted to, she came back and dropped out the audio sound of you telling her to choke, you gonna choke the shit out of her. She ain't got no choice in the matter. Like, okay, no matter if you say it's a 10-minute video or a full 10-minute video, I'm scared to see what the full 10-minute video gonna reveal. Because that's some wild shit you said in 30 seconds, Shannon. You can't just walk around telling motherfuckers, I don't care what they is, white, black, Chinese, pink, purple, that you gonna choke the shit out of them and let them put you on recorder saying that shit. That's number one.
See, what was crazy about it was when he said a big black man choke out, what is it, a little white girl or a little white woman? Like, that whole thing was crazy. Like, the moment that shit got released, I was like, yeah, they done with him.
I don't know what's bullshit, man. But look, this is an animal that ESPN started, and let me tell you why. I feel like ESPN started this. So, and this is just a legend. This is all coming from my personal opinion. When Shannon Sharpe had that first incident where he was caught on Instagram, bro, and he was out there growling like he a grizzly bear or some shit, man. And ESPN allowed him to stay. What did I tell you, dude, when we spoke on the phone? I said that shit was so Shannon Sharpe can sell sex pills, bro.
Yeah, for sure, though.
And I still believe that shit to this day. I ain't got no proof of it in it, but come on, bro. After that, automatically, right? Automatically, your commercial is everywhere now. I mean, talking about it within the same day. Oh, we use that. It just so happens that you had a sex pill coming out at the same time. So you compromise that shit, your character, to go ahead and let that shit happen so you can get that bag. Now, at the end of the day, I don't know if I can this. More of the story is I'm not famous like you.
Yeah, and I just think too with Shannon is just the history, and then when that stuff first happened, even just with that Instagram whole live leak, first he said his page was hacked, and then he realized, you know what, I'm gonna just tell the truth. So it seemed like there's some character and moral issues going on with Shannon, and hopefully, man, he able to get some help with his demons, man. That's all I'm gonna say with that.
Grown man sitting here lying, man, instead of just going ahead and telling the truth. If you want to be a Chip and Dale dancer on the weekends, nigga, do your thing, but don't involve the whole world and then lie to the whole world and say, oh, no, this is what it was. When we can clearly see, like, I got eyes, I can see, I'm a grown ass man. You can't lie to me, Shannon, dog. You was wanting to sell sex, bro. And it's something weird about you, dude. It's like, you're getting like, even on your podcast, that shit kills me all the time. You and Chad Ochocinco always talking about how you this bitch, this bitch, and Ochocinco ain't got no old lady now, so he might be, he might be one of them turners, and that's just my personal opinion. Again, they might be each other. Ain't no telling, bro. Weird,
yeah.
Get up there.
Nah, for sure though.
But anyway, man, we're gonna move on to the next subject, man. NFL draft, man. Cam Ward, congratulations to him. Much deserved for him. Cam Ward is a Houston area kid, local guy, out of Columbia High School. So I'm very proud to see him, get that first round pick solidified and also, put on for his area, in which a lot of kids from like Matthew Golden and all those guys, Houston area kids, he went to Klein Kane. So that's kind of like, a win in our books, man, especially with these guys going, man. So to me, honestly, bro, I just gonna give it top two, and because we can break down the whole draft order for you. I have it all in my notes, but time pending, we're gonna see if we can get all the way around to it. But the first pick was Cam Ward, straight out, and then second pick was Travis Hunter, going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Congratulations to both of those guys. I do believe Travis Hunter probably went where he was supposed to go in the draft. Cam Ward went exactly where he was supposed to. But it's shocking to me, man, and I'm gonna go ahead and get straight into the shit, man, because I don't respect it, bro. Because this guy had way more upside than about 4 to 5 other quarterbacks that were selected here at him, including Dylan Gabriel. Um, what's the other guy? Jackson Dart. Um, it was pitiful to me what happened to Shedeur Sanders, man, and how he ended up being a fifth round pick, man, almost not drafted at all, man. It's sad because here's the thing about Jackson Dart, man, and I watched his for years because I like Lane Kiffin, man. Lane Kiffin was a pretty good coach. I always been with him, even when he was back up in USC, man, and wasn't doing too good with the good picks that he had, a good recruits that he had. So um, to me, man, the guy never showed that dog in him that I'm gonna fight through type. Like even then when like he was playing in the big games, bro, he was really up, man. Like and yeah, I know he eclipsed and Eli Manning the record at Ole Miss. But if you didn't perform in a big game, bro, I don't think that you should have been that much highlighted over Shedeur Sanders because of the simple fact that Shedeur Sanders never had the chance to even get to the big game. Meaning that his team wasn't fully, man. He had a few pieces that they got that was from Jackson State. Literally, everybody almost transferred over from Jackson State, along with a few guys that came in. But this year was his year that he really got his first like 5-star recruit offensive lineman, which is Jordan Seaton. So I mean, you got to think about this shit, man. This man has done this shit in 2 years, bro. What he eclipsed, what he's done, 2 years. He didn't lead the nation in passing yards, but he did in accuracy, completions, and stuff. But here's the thing: if you was the outright guy like Cam Ward was, then they wasn't able to question you. I mean, this had like I think it was 50 plus downfield. So he was really airing that out, going downfield and throwing the ball. Most completion yards by quarterback for that season in NCAA. So he was made the outright quarterback, and it kind of sucks that the Shedeur or the second pick Travis Hunter was more important to NFL and the draft than the Cam Ward is. So I'm gonna give him his flowers real quick. You know, great guy. You know what I'm saying? Ain't never getting no shit. Was cocky always. You want cockiness in your quarterback, but you also want something that's marketable. Yeah. Always being able to be marketable because they're not only just marketing to, adults, they got kids that they marketing to, so they got to be able to have somebody that they can stick out in front of that franchise that's going to be clean. Do I think Shedeur was that? Probably he wasn't. He's a clean quarterback. He don't play dirty, none of that type of characteristics. At least I haven't heard about that from him. But his cockiness was kind of teetering the line of marketable and unmarketable to me, and that's kind of why he fell down so far. Because if you look at all them teams, that they pretty much 200 times to get 200 different players to come back around and let the Browns get them, which was crazy to me, man.
Yeah, I think this whole draft thing, this thing was just crazy. I think, Shedeur is Deion's son, so it's kind of like they all have the braggadocious, but at the same time, Deion's legacy, his style, Deion can back it up. Shedeur is not a bad quarterback, but I just don't think he has that same pop as his dad, in order to talk that amount of shit. However, at the same time, I do think that he was more capable of going a little bit sooner than what he did. I think it was more so a humbling effort. Like, hey, you cool, this and that, but you getting a little bit too big for your britches. So I think the NFL did try to humble him down a little bit. But I also think that Shedeur, outside of Cam Ward, Shedeur and Travis, I think they kind of overshadowed everybody else that got drafted because this whole thing became about, okay, all right, let's see where Cam Ward go. Let's see where Travis Hunter go. Let's see where Shedeur. So the NFL, because if you watch over them last couple nights, they was always showing, going back to Shedeur, showing his facial expressions, and it's just kind of like overshadowed everybody else's accomplishments too. So I think the NFL was intentionally trying to be messy, if you get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. And then to me, not only like I'm gonna go back to the comment where you were saying, hey, he's trying to prove that he was even better than Dion. Well, you gotta not even gonna prove you Dion when you like just now coming out of the gates. And yeah, they did give him. They started opening the doors to him. But hell, you're not even the best quarterback in your own draft. If you honestly ask me, bro, who has the most upside in the NFL right now is a built NFL quarterback and has the frame, all that other shit. And the best upside, unique arm talent is Jalen Milroe. But if he wouldn't have just fucked up at Alabama so bad, man, and got into it with Nick Saban, I think he probably would have been a higher pick than what people expected. Pending that he would have did what he was supposed to do on the field. Because that guy can throw a ball, dog. He can throw that shit better than Jackson Dart, Cam Ward, all that. I'm talking about as far as pure arm strength, arm talent. Can stand on his own 10-yard line and launch it to the opponent's 10-yard line type shit.
Nah, for sure, though. Definitely for sure. But, man, I just still feel like this whole thing was just about the big names. Of course, everybody else did get drafted, but I still think this whole thing got overshadowed by all the big names because, you would see get drafted this year. And it was like, okay, it's cool. Camera or the talk went back to the discussions about the big name players. So, but either way, salute to everybody that got drafted, especially if you coming from where we coming from, getting your family up out of poverty, so salute.
That's real. That's real, man. But just speaking on another big name that got passed up, man, and I'm so proud he got passed up. I'm so happy because the Texans were able to get him. But I'm going to say one thing. I'm kind of upset at the Texans right now, but I'm kind of happy at the moment because they filled some needs that we needed to be filled. But I feel like they should have jumped back into the first round. After they gave up that pick to New York, they should have been like, all right, if I ain't going to move back into the first round, New York, I need that first pick out of your second round to try to compensate for what I just lost because I could have had a damn good player, meaning offensive lineman, in which we got one. The little cat from Minnesota, man, AG, man, he pretty good, man. He pretty long. He's a long fella, nasty. One thing that I didn't like that I did see about him is he can work a little more on his run, blocking and shit like that. But we really didn't need improvement on run blocking. It was a protection to keep CJ Stroud upright. But he had if he was like probably healthy, he would have went a little higher. Then we also got Jay Higgins as a wide receiver. We got him with the first pick in the second round. And we also got his little buddy, and I forgot his little buddy name. It starts with an N. I can't pronounce it this shit now, but they both went to Iowa State. And Jaden Higgins is dude. This is Nico Collins, dude. I'm telling you, he's 6'4", 215, ran a 4.40 in the combine, bro. Nobody looked at him. Everybody over his ass, and the Texans were able to grab him, man. So he'll be a nice compliment if they choose to, because you got to understand we already got Christian Kirk as well from the Jacksonville Jaguars. So now we got Nico Collins, Christian Kirk, we got Jaden Higgins, we got Dalton Schultz at tight end. Then if we plug in that other little guy, we'll have essentially 4 good caliber wide receivers, and we ain't even talking about Tank Dell still on injury, finna come back, who's probably going to jump in and slide at that point for us, like at the 3 or 4 wide receiver to come out. But you'll have Nico Collins that's 6'2" as your Y, and then this guy here 6'4" as your X, and he can take the top off the defense. And when I tell you this, dog, I was watching the film on this nigga. Say, man, that nigga can fly for them long legs, dog. That look like a goddamn gazelle like that. I said, how these? That remind me of Calvin Johnson when Calvin Johnson was in the league already, and this was doing the shit in college. Bro.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, I can't think of the offensive tackle name. His name is some Garano or some black guy, man, from Minnesota. But that he was good too, man. I was checking his highlights yesterday, a few days ago, and on possible potential lands and stuff, spots for him. I didn't see him going to the Texans. I thought he was going to go to somebody else. He was really good. He's just low key. He got hurt, but in a Senior Bowl, he was tearing them up. Them they was getting killed by his. It was like even your boy from Penn State right now. They just went to my not to the Miami, to the Giants. He killed his ass too.
Speaking of which, just keeping it football, might be outside of the segment, but so what you think about this Mike Vick coach and job situation?
I think it's a good deal, bro. Norfolk State, that's a good deal for him, bro. He gonna be able to do what he's able to do, and it's something he'll be able to love, bro.
Yeah, nah, for sure. And I think too, hopefully we continue to see more black coaches in the NCAA. I mean, of course we have them in there, but hopefully maybe with Dion, and it's going to start a whole new wave, because I know you got, what is it? I used to play with the Houston Oilers back in the day. Was it Eddie? Is it Eddie George? Am I tripping?
Yeah. Eddie George, somebody position at Tennessee State.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Deshaun Jackson got a position too at what was that?
Let me see. I can look that up too.
I forgot that motherfucker. Is it San Diego State or some shit like that?
Let me see. Former player who's the head football coach at Delaware State University.
Delaware State, yeah, that's what it was, yeah. Mm-hmm. Deshaun Jackson was when he played with Vic when he was in Philly, hell yeah.
Yeah. Nah, he definitely was. So them boys, they definitely learning from one of the best.
Man, let me tell you something. And then not only that, man, I see the NFL starting to make it since they made this this college paid, man, start getting them money, man. They starting to pretty much make it like NFLU, man, like especially with Belichick going down to North Carolina, shit, he gonna have a lot of connections to the Patriots. Man, of course he gonna get the inside scoop from him, man, and it's gonna be better because him and Robert Kraft is tight. So
speaking of Belichick, this is allegedly too. What's up with him and that young girl? Don't he got him a little young one too? I don't think you heard the news.
Oh, it ain't alleged.
Oh,
it ain't alleged.
Hey man, I'm just
That's for real. That ain't a college student, a little white girl.
Damn. But yet still.
Yeah, Belichick almost 80.
Man, look, so did he take any kind of heat? I mean, the same way Shannon taking heat? Because I don't think I've seen anything like that. But maybe Belichick ain't out here just straight dog style, or, shit ain't been public. But
well, the difference, I think, between Shannon shit is because, number one, racial, of course, because it's skin color. Number two, because it's not an interracial relationship. And then number three is because he's in a relationship with a chick as opposed to just, until he's going to choke shit out of you. If he's going on until he after this. You know what I'm saying? He said, I love you, baby. I'm going to choke shit out you while I'm fucking shit out you, but then I love you after that because we're going to go and lay down and go to bed together. But, man, that's still weird, though, bro, because Bill Belichick's you got kids, bro, like, and you got grandkids that's probably her age, bro. So how do you explain that shit when you come to the crib? My grandpa is 80, but he fits my age, like.
Yeah, crazy though.
We go to the same school. we take psychology together. Crazy, man. This is wild, man. I don't understand it, bro. Another thing I don't understand, man. I'm gonna get on this last subject, man, before we jump up out of here, man. But this Karmelo Anthony shit, y'all, man. So. Again, this is kind of sports related and it's murder related, but I'm going to jump on the Karmelo shit, man, because of one simple fact, bro. And I just got to say this shit, man. I ran track before and was, it was exciting that track athletes do all this shit. So I'm going to give you the perspective from what I've researched. And again, I don't have no personal ties directly. I haven't interviewed anyone directly that's in contact with the family, but I have heard many different opinions of secondhand opinions from people who spoke with witnesses directly. So I'm gonna get into it from the young man that got killed side of the family first. I forget his name, but incident he had a twin too.
The Metcalf,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, the Metcalf family out in Dallas, Texas, North Dallas, that's a little suburb thing. So, so allegedly, there was a track meet event, which are sanctioned by the NCAA in Texas, whatever, UIL combined. So usually these track meets like that, I don't know if it was a high school sanction only, or usually they have like international meets where you have like fucking college and potential, like uh, Olympic athletes that's trying to qualify for time. Nevertheless, um, the story goes, and again I say allegedly because the story goes that um, Carmelo Anthony, was to or inside a tent, which is set up pretty much the team set next to each other at track meet. So you don't have to coach don't have to locate nobody. He just say, hey, go get warmed up for your event, and then you come back out of that. Now, granted that all the area, if you pay a admission entry ticket or you're with the team, any part of those bleachers are free, right? And you are allowed to sit in those. So what was said was that Anthony approached and sat underneath the tent, which is a free area, but it's also surrounded by their team. The team is under the tent to protect them from the heat, so they don't get dehydrated and all that stuff before they ride. So he was under the tent, and the family says he noise, meaning Karmelo started talking noise to the McCaffrey family's son that got murdered. And pretty much he said the McCaffrey son got up and said, hey, man, I want you to leave, and if you don't leave, I'm going to make you leave. And at that point, you know, Carmelo said, well, pretty much walk around and find out. I want you to, come over here and try to put your hands on me and you're going to see. So at that point, he says, after Carmelo warned him, the guy still, pushed him. And at that point, Carmelo came out of his bag with something that looked like a butcher knife, and stabbed him, and then took it off running. Now, on the Carmelo Anthony side of the family, the people that interviewed him and witnesses, and also I'm gonna also throw out this as well. But the two other whites who happen to be white also attested to the same story that Carmelo's Anthony family uh, has been documented, and witness statements letting people know what's going on. So here it goes, man. So again, any part of these bleachers, which are high school bench style bleachers, it's just regular bleachers. So Carmelo goes up and sat by, not inside. So sat by their tent. The guy said something to him, and they insinuated that it was like a racist comment or a slick slide comment to him, in which Carmelo responded something to him. Now, they didn't say exactly what he responded to him, but it starts to pick up when he says, the guy got up and said, if you don't leave, I'm going to punch you. And once he said he going to punch you, again, Carmelo, like, around and find out. That's the only consistency that's in both stories. Around and find out was pretty much just saying, you come over and put your hands on me, we're going to see. So the guy punches him. Boom. Carmelo then takes a tool that he has for erecting tents at the track meet and uses it. Now, I don't know about you or me, I'm gonna put it and break it down in terms of my to understand real quick. Because me and my homies used to do this shit all the time. We also like all go out, you know what I'm saying? Even though we're gonna take it all the way away from the track. We're gonna take this to the club, son. Me and my dogs, Big Beasley, Big Tree. Shout out my dog. Yeah, they'll probably see this, you know what I'm saying, and know what I'm talking about, man. So if you go into Metropolis like we used to do, boom, hey, what's up, Mike? What's up, Tree? What's up, Ed? What's up, B? What y'all ain't doing? Let's go to the club. Okay, boom, we gone. Get to the club, pull up, get in the section. Now, I ain't talking about no like VIP section that we have to pay some that shit. Sometimes we get them. I'm talking about just a section on the floor, right? And all your is there. Like I just told you, we call like 5 or 6, and then 5 or 6 probably call 5 or 6 more, and we all partners anyway, so we all coming to you. So it's like 15 of us. Now, mind you, it's still free to be in any part of the club that you want to. You can go to any part of the club you want to and frequent it is your right. But if you come in a section with me and my niggas and we don't know you and you chilling next to us, you looking at us like you following us around or some shit, like 9 times out of 10 it's not going to be conducive for your good health. We're probably going to ask you some questions, and if you can't ask some questions and move around, we're probably going to fuck you up. That's my whole moral story. So I don't know if Karmelo went over there and typed something, but what it sounds like to me is they didn't have some run-ins before. Like they had a past prior history of maybe they ran against each other before, maybe called him a nigga. I don't know. Allegedly, I don't know what happened. I'm not saying it did happen, but it seems like that happened. And then my second point I want to get to before I pass it over to you, dog. The use of deadly force, it has a measure that the original action, right? So why would you feel as Karmelo, it don't matter what type of tool it was, that you had to use that on him, number one? And this is my theory. I believe, just like going back to the club incident, if I say something to you, my say something to you, we all got a problem with you. I feel like he was probably in jeopardy, or felt like he was in jeopardy of his life, because especially you got a twin brother there, bro. When would you ever fight Justin and Jay Easy, and I would never come be there, or T-Boy wouldn't be there? You feel me?
Yeah. Man.
That's how I feel.
Man, I feel it's hard to tell somebody what they're going to do, but I know, and I got a couple scenarios, so I just kind of feel like, I mean, everybody had their own perspective, but all right, so the dude comes up to Karmelo, and it's kind of like, all right, you know, you can come up, you gonna put hands on me, whatever. All right, I think I might have, and you gotta think, because I'm a concealed holder, so I gotta think things like as if, you know, I'm about to go to trial, you know, so it's kind of like, all right, you do something, all right, you fire off on me, I'm gonna fire off on you back. However, if you got a knife and you're trying to attack me and I got a pistol, I'm gonna fire, you know, I'm gonna use deadly force. But, or if it's a situation to where, let's just say that same club scenario, it's 15 of us, but it's 30. That's an uneven situation. Like, I'm sorry, at that situation, I'm gonna have to up the force. Like, you can't outhands, well, you know, unless you're a super saiyan, you can't outhands 30, only 15 of y'all. Like, that's a lose-lose situation. Now, if it's 15 on 15, fine. But if you outnumbered or the up something on you that's greater than the fist, then you don't have a choice but to do it. Hey, and I know you remember that time. What was that? Them apartments. Remember the dump truck incident?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was more of them than us. I think it was just only us three, and it was a group of them downstairs. So I was like, well, in that situation where we outnumbered, so hey, I'm at a safe distance back then. Hey, man, you keep talking. So if we outnumbered, man, hey, so that's a difficult situation to be in, but we shall later see what the evidence they produce in the court case, and then we can possibly be able to make our own judgment. Hell, we might even do a follow-up to this once more evidence comes out in the court case.
And again, see, that's what I want to happen, man. Is I want to let people know, because I know this is a real touchy subject and situation going on around the whole U.S. right now, because everybody feel like, you know, I done heard these call him a murderer, a killer. He shouldn't be on the street. And at some points, again, you have to justify the use of deadly force. So if if Carmelo was in a situation where he was just first off, let's see if he's mentally stable. Do we know if he's mentally stable or not? Is it, you know what I'm saying? That's a whole different ballpark and a different podcast episode. That shit. But if he was in a one-on-one situation, which I highly doubt, because again, I'm never going to see you or you or T-Boy. And we'll edit that out later. I'm gonna say it again now. It will never be in a situation where I'll see you, Jay Easy, or T-Boy in a fight, and I will not be there to like be at your back, bro. That's insane, bro. Like that's the wildest shit. Because I think honestly, for him to have to pull that tool out, is he felt that way. Other than that, like the state of Texas or anybody, you gotta just like if he was just coming at you by himself, you just gotta go and whoop that, bro. Like I'm just straight up, you just gotta put hands on that boy, man. Because look, I done been in a situation before, dog, when I done got jumped twice. You know what I'm saying? One time I lost being jumped, and one time I won being jumped. And either way, winning it or losing it is still scary because I don't give a how hard you is as a man. When you got multiple on your ass and you by yourself, you at the point of praying to God, dog. You like trying to survival mode. So you like pulling any and everything out. But you like, I'm going to survive now. Either, like I said, both times when I got jumped, that's scary. But it also prepares you and lets you know when you do get jumped that you can handle some shit like that too. And it pulls a whole nother side of animal out of your ass, dog. Because, boy, I'm telling you, when I beat them up 3 up down there that jumped me, dog, it was some wild shit. And I didn't understand what it was for, you know. But you know, later on, I was just like, you know, hey, you made it out of the situation, you know. So,
nah, for sure. Nah, you sure right.
No wonder though, man. Well, I guess we'll just keep wondering, man. But Karmelo, man, that's the part about it is now he gonna have to deal with the jury, you know, and the judge and shit, and go through the whole political process, which is probably not going to be on his side anyway, because they do just to make shit happen, and that's a real, you know, true statement. That's not a, you know, I mean, if they do it to the president of the United States of America, what the fuck do you think you are, you know?
Yep.
Like, who you really think you are? If they do that to Donald Trump, you know what I'm saying, and he had to fight the shit, you know, a young black man with no pocket gonna have to fight it. But I heard a lot of people say that they're gonna start donating to his lawyer fund and hope that, you know, more people start donating to him.
Yeah, man. So we shall see. So matter of fact, we need to kind of figure out when that court date is gonna be. That way we can kind of plan around the next episode. When the trial gets started, I should say.
Definitely when they because he's released right now, released on bond. So the judge came back, a new judge came back and saw that his bond was $1 million set for his first time being a first offender. That he should have never got that much of a high bond amount. So she came back and switched it out. So he's currently at home. He probably got an ankle monitor on and shit like that. When you got a type of case like that is in a serious nature, they're gonna automatically throw that shit on you so they know where you at just in case you try to run and shit. So, and I just hope, I pray for the young man, man. I pray for everybody that was involved in the situation. I don't like that anybody had to lose their life, especially at the track meet, bro. When you come out and worry about competing and to be a better person and be greater than what you are right now. That's what the whole deal is. Be athletic, student athlete, and to try to, like you say, try to get your family out of poverty.
Yeah. Nah, for sure though. But I tell you what though, for anybody that's listening right now, if you got any kind of opinions or whatever, any critique or feedback on whatever platform that you're listening to this on, whether it's Spotify, YouTube, whatever, make sure y'all comment, like, and subscribe, and just kind of let us know. Give us your take on it, because, you know, we want our community to be interactive with us. So, for sure, though, did you have any other points you want to make before we get up out of here?
No, man, I just want to tell everybody, man, stay blessed, stay humble, man. If you want to appreciate it, y'all. Y'all have a good night, man. Stay safe out there, man. Till next time, we vibing on everything sports, news, and breaking. We out.
We out.